What's up, guys? Today we're going to be heat wrapping the dump tube and whatever else that we can get done. Well, the first thing that I want to point out is I left you guys hanging in the last video with the AC not working. I did figure that out. I haven't fixed it yet, but I was reading online and someone mentioned something about this thing. I think it's called the evaporator. I'm not entirely sure, but it was unplugged. It's still unplugged. As you can see, there's the plug right down there where my finger's pointing, and here's the plug right here that plugs into it. And what happened is I undid that thing to move it a little bit out of the way to get the washer fluid bottle out, so I could fit my intercooler piping, and I never plugged it back in, and that's why the AC doesn't work. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that in and turn the car on and check to see how much refrigerant is in there. I'm going to run the gauge on with the compressor actually working, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so as you can see, the compressor is on, and it's down in the green, so it is a little bit low. When the compressor shuts off, it goes up into the blue. But my AC is working, which is awesome. We just have to go ahead and fill this up a little bit. So it could be low for a couple reasons. I've actually owned the car for 5 years, never had to put any refrigerant in it. The AC has always worked for me, and it works pretty well too. And one time I did check it to see if it needed some, and it didn't need any. That was probably 2 years ago at this point. So either a little bit leaked out over 2 years, so there could be a small leak somewhere, or I did push the Schrader valve and a bunch of stuff shot out. That might have been enough for it to lower that small amount. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a can and fill that up. But first, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap the dump tube. So first I'm gonna go ahead and pull off the dump tube. All right, so we gotta figure out how much heat wrap that we're actually gonna end up using. And then I'm going to soak it before I put it on. It recommends it. You don't have to do it. It just makes it stretch easier and stick better. So that's what I'm going to do. But first, we got to figure out how much we need. This frayed end is going to go towards the bottom. I'm ultimately going to wrap it from the top down. But for right now, just to find out how much we need, we're going to wrap it from the bottom up. And I'm going to use a zip tie to hold it in place while I'm doing that. So go ahead and get this going around there like that. So there's what we got right now. Give ourselves a little bit extra. I have so much of this in my hands right now, it's awful. I didn't think it was going to do that. It's kind of painful. So now that we got enough of it, I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. And I'm just going to dunk it in a bucket of water and let it soak for like maybe 10 minutes or something like that, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and wrap this with the wet heat wrap. We're going to do the same thing where we use a zip tie to hold it in place just in case we have to rewrap it, and then we'll put the metal ties on at the very end. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull out this heat wrap and squeeze it out a little bit. Alright, so now that's all squeezed out, we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. We're going to start at the top, like it says, with the less frayed end. I'm going to cut some of this off really quick. And we're going to put the end on the bottom side here. I don't know if you can see. I'm going to try to do this in the camera. So put the end in the bottom side, and then just go ahead and wrap around the top. Now, I'm actually going to redo this because as you can see, I mean, it's coming out okay. But if you look at the ends, this end is way more clean than this end. This end's almost kind of frayed. And I don't want it to look like this. So I'm going to take this all off and flip it over. Took a little bit longer than expected, but that actually came out really good. You can kind of see the overlaps are pretty even. It's not fraying anymore at the top. And then I just have it zip tied down here, zip tied up here. I do recommend wetting this though, because it makes it stretch a lot. It makes it easier to wrap even. The parts that were kind of folded and didn't come out good, I put on the bottom side. so that way it would look okay from the top when you're looking in the engine bay. But I'm gonna go ahead and put the metal zip ties on here now. I'm so upset. I broke my flush cuts. Don't use flush cuts on metal zip ties. But anyway, that's how this thing looks now. Maybe I'll show you what it looks like once it dries off, if it dries off. But I'm gonna go ahead and mount this on the car. Looks good. Now I gotta run to the store and get some new refrigerant and a new set of flush cuts, which sucks really bad, but here we go. All right, I'm back from the store right now. I don't have too much time, so I'm gonna go ahead and just put the bumper back on this car and get going. We'll finish up tomorrow. That took way too long, but the bumper's on. And as you can see here, the closest wire to that downpipe is this one. And it's heat wrapped, so it should be okay. That one's a little bit further away, right there, that red one. And other than that, that downpipe is free and clear of everything. So, and by downpipe, I mean dump tube. You know what I mean. But yeah, we're all set for today. So it's the next day now, and I'm gonna go ahead and figure out what's going on with my horn. I know that the wiring up to the hub is good because I touched the back of the hub with a test light and grounded it and the horn went off. So the issue is somewhere in here, because if you bridge this, the horn won't go off. But if you touch this end and put it to a ground, the horn will go off. So it's somewhere in here, there's a bad ground. Power wire for the horn goes in here somewhere and connects up, and that's actually what broke. It looks like it was bolted in there and it either broke or just came undone. Looks like it just came undone. But the issue now is that we got to figure out a way to wire this down in here. We have to figure out how to take this hub apart, and I don't think that you can. I'm pretty sure it's like a sealed unit, so I probably can't have a horn with this hub, which really sucks. But I'm gonna take it off and see if I can get something working. Alright, so I got the hub off. This back piece actually comes off, and you can see where the horn was there. It looks like it was just soldered on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and try soldering that back to it, and then it should be fixed. Alright, so we soldered that and then hot glued it so it can't come apart again. And now we're just gonna go ahead and put the hub back together and put it back in the car. Alright, so you can test that it's working by just touching these two together. And you know that the horn's fixed. Alright, you guys, I hate ending the video in my garage again, like late at night, but I forgot to close out the video again, and I didn't end up putting the refrigerant in the air conditioning because I ran out of time, so I'm probably going to take care of that tomorrow, but I just want a video to post up. I did fix my horn. Everything works now with that, and I also did another valve adjustment because the engine was making some noise. I didn't really show any of that, so sorry about that. I was just hanging out with my cousin today, so wasn't really recording all that much. But thank you for watching this video. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Peace out.